until after it's over.
I said, remember, let's not argue until, we haven't had an argument in a while.
Let's see, 15 seconds in.
I know, and then I'm always messing with this. I didn't advertise it because I didn't want to let anybody down. So I didn't really like tell everybody that we were going to do it.
Well, they'll figure it out.
Yeah, we've got smart people that watch.
Let's see.
Another goal is I'm not going to throw my hair up in the middle of the live. I'm going to leave it down. Okay?
Yes. Look.
What is that?
I don't know. That's
Wait,
because
let me see.
Discard clip.
Oh, yeah, you can, hey, let it go,
Hey,
Queen
guys.
Bee. Hey, the XO family. You can,
do this.
I'm not gonna mess with it. Like, I'm not gonna turn it up and down, but I'm not, I promise.
No, I'm trying. I got to do this
though. Yeah, that's better.
Live chat.
So the other thing that we were not gonna do, I was like, I'm not gonna throw my hair up. Not that it really matters, you guys, but.
See, I can't do, like, because of my phone's messed up. I'm trying to go to top live chat.
His phone is really messed up. So what happened was this. This is kind of funny. So I got the iPhone 13 because his other phone was really messed up. It was like going phantomly and calling. It was crazy. So we traded it in. I got the iPhone 13 and then he got my old, is an iPhone 11, right?
Yeah, this is. Yeah,
right.
You got the new iPhone 13 and as soon as I took her old phone, it started to mess up.
So this is because I didn't want to wait. I took the, I didn't want to wait to get my phone when I got the new one. So I got the one with lower storage space. Guys, I've got like 10,000 pictures in my phone. So I told Sean, I said, what I'm willing to do is, because this one's not working, is I'm willing to get the phone with the iPhone 13 with the bigger storage. And I'll let you have this one.
Yep.
You thought that was fun. You thought it was fun.
Like, you know when your phone starts to go in like one side, like all the way down the right side, just you can't like type the, like for me it's like the letter O and the letter M.
It's from being in your pocket.
It might be.
I really do, because both of them did it.
Because I work hard.
You work hard. We had ribs with this dude. I'm looking, hey Karen, I'm gonna try to catch up while and say hi to everyone. Hey Whiplashed, without going off on a tangent.
Ooh, I look tired.
You do?
Maybe it's just because I'm getting a little sun.
Yeah, you are getting a little sun. So I posted some pictures of the chicken coop earlier today on Twitter. It appears to be something that he and I are both going to spend a large amount of time doing. Hey, Dark Ninja. Yeah, the 13, I heard that right now they're giving, if you're already a customer, they're literally giving you one. We did, Dark Ninja. We got married almost 2 years ago.
Well, about 18 months ago.
Yeah, we did. Thank
you.
We
live in Georgia, in case you didn't know. We're not in Texas.
We're not in Texas
I don't know
anymore.
how far back Dark Ninja goes because...
I remember that name.
But before we were married?
Yes.
She's Mandi Curly now.
Yes, the fanciest chicken coop. Look, I'm all about the aesthetics of it. He's about the wildlife and the actual chickens. I'm about making it look pretty.
I hear Karen.
Verizon, yes, Colleen. Verizon's doing it.
I hear Karen's going to get chickens.
Karen wants chickens. We've won her over. We've lost a couple without going into any detail. I know what happens, but that's hard. Not lost like they ran away, but like that they died. That was the first. The silkies I found are very, they're a lot more fragile.
Yeah, they're not so tough.
They're adorable.
But in true Mandi fashion, we set up the little chicken ICU and she tried to save them.
I tried to save them. Hey, Hope. I tried to save them
Hope.
Because at one time I had a cockatiel that they did this. They made a tent and they actually put like albuterol into this like bird tent to try to save it. So I put a cup towel over and did 2 pumps of albuterol. And you know what? For about 12 hours it worked.
Yeah.
He was able to breathe a lot easier. And
well, really, Rhonda's like, oh no, they died, but you lose some when they're little.
Yeah.
So I got 4 brown ones, the 4 brown ISAs, 3 are thriving. We got 4 leghorns, 3 made it. And of like 7 silkies, 5 made it.
And Ozzy's still kicking.
Yeah, so.
Ozzy has no control over anybody in his flock. Does he?
Go for the brooder or rainbow.
I've heard that one.
Leghorns are like all-purpose. They're really boring looking birds because they're just white
But they're
chickens.
hardy.
But they're like, the best all-around bird. They said with the Leghorns, you could just put them in the yard and go on vacation and leave them out for a week, and they forage enough food to stay alive. You just got to make sure they got
Look at the little
water
one.
for 'em.
You haven't seen the little Scout. Was the third kitten. He's gotten big. Say hi. Angela's here. Angela's watching. She's probably not here yet, but she's watching. Say hi. That's Scout. So 3 cats. We have Sawyer. Pick Sawyer up. They haven't seen Sawyer in a while. And
Sawyer Brown.
He's right there. He got a haircut.
Come here, Sawyer Brown.
You want to show me your haircut?
Here, hold that. You can see
He got a
everyone's
haircut
stuff.
last week.
Come here.
I like him to grow out a little bit, and he kind of has, but look at him. Say hi. He's a chicken farmer too. Here, let me see him. He is the chicken farmer. He takes very good care of them. He does love them.
He knows when they're sick.
He does know when they're sick. And if the Leghorns get out while we're like doing something with their cage, he herds them back in. He knows where they're supposed to be. But yeah, he got a haircut
Colleen,
last
that is
week.
good odds. I mean, so we have like 15, and we still are about 11
He's gotten very
out
big.
of 15.
Yeah.
So that's not bad.
I figured out that they like we have these stepping stones, and the water kind of, if you position the water where it kind of flows down the stones a little bit, they like to drink it while it flows off this stone. So I had this whole thing hooked up.
She does.
I
She's
put the
pretty
things
amazing.
in the soakers. I got a soaker hose, a 25-foot, and like kind of zip tied it very loosely along the fence and put the stones down. But what ended up happening was the water pressure was so high. I think there was a kink is what originally happened.
Yeah,
And that's why, and it broke the soaker hose, and it looked tacky. But if
Yeah.
anybody has an idea of a way to,
The Leghorns like the water. They'll actually frolic
Yeah.
in the water. The other chickens run from it like it's acid. They just run into the corner.
those of you who've seen those Ryobi 1 line at Home Depot where one battery fits all of these different types of hardware things, like everything from edgers to mowers to, well, they have a water mister that sits, it's a fan and a mister, and it sits right on top of a Home Depot bucket that you put water in, and it has a fan and it mists. I'm getting it. I'm not going to point it towards the chicken coop, but on really hot days, I'm going to put it on the outside so that there's a cool mist, because they're so lethargic when it's hot.
Yeah, I mean, they're
And
like
I
most
know
of us.
they're okay,
Where
but
the chicken house is, I didn't really put it real strategic. It's in the sun, so they gotta come, like the caged area. There'll be like 2.5 hours during the day where it's completely in the sun.
yeah.
So we built a little shed,
Oh, we did.
so they can get out of it, or they got to go up into the actual coop, into the chicken house to get out of the sun, and it's kind of hot up in there. So
It is.
that wasn't well thought out. All I had to do was move the chicken house over like 10 feet back, and it would have been out of the sun. But I didn't think about
I was
that.
gonna share this. Oh, I can't share it
Why?
because it doesn't have mine on there.
Oh
Doesn't
yeah.
have mine on there.
She
It
changed
used-
her password.
It used to be on there just because it was a phone that I had, and he's so boring. He didn't even look at my stuff.
I do look at your stuff. See, look, all you got to do is put
Confirm my
your password in.
identity. I can't confirm my identity.
You just
So what have
put
y'all
your-
been up to? I thought the last time we went live was when we showed you the chickens when they're little, but I forgot we did that. That old style stream in bed that we did that one time.
Yes, that drives some people crazy.
Yeah, it's. I lost half a dozen of my hens this past week. I'm so sorry. I only
Whoa.
have 2 ladies left. I'm so bummed. It sucks.
The thing about it, and we haven't dealt with this as much. Like we had a torrential downpour, and 2 of the silkies didn't get out of the rain. They just sat in the rain all day, and it made them sick, and so they ended up dying. And then I don't know what, but they say you got to be really careful, because if one gets sick and you don't notice it, it'll get the whole flock sick.
How many weeks are they?
They're at least a couple months. Do you think 12 yet?
Yeah, definitely.
They're gonna start laying eggs soon.
Hey, Kathleen, I think what happened was, and I don't think she did it for any reason, but the one that we get the silkies from, those are the only ones that she has. And she's the one that, well, she sold us Ozzy because she said he just was so submissive. The other roosters were beating him up.
She raised Ozzy like Ozzy used to sit on her shoulder like a parakeet.
So he lets me hold you too. He lets you hold him.
But he was getting beat up by the other roosters at their place, so she.
Right, and then we also got 2 from her that day, right? 2 silky hens, like the little ones.
We had 3 that day.
But then about a week later, she said, "I'm overrun with chicks, and we still. Do you want another?" It was 2 or 3.
4.
4. And I think, and when she came, she did say when she came to drop them off, she said she was trying to save one right then with Hydra Hen. That's like Gatorade for hens. And
I put it in one of their water things has Hydra.
So I think not malicious or anything like that, but I think they might have gotten introduced the respiratory thing from that. Because you said it's unusual for a leghorn to pass away. I mean, unusual.
They're hardier than normal chickens.
Hey, Mimi, how are you?
I mean, if you see that Old West or out in the desert, and you see a trailer out in the desert and it's 110 degrees, you see 2 or 3 leghorn chickens running around outside. They can live in anything.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. So you're just literally caught on fire. Oh my gosh, Rhonda. Oh my gosh, the charging cable. We had a rooster like Aussie named Jackie Chan. How sweet. 60 weeks they're considered older and they'll start pretty much in retirement and really won't lay. That's what Sean said. Backwoods Barbie said that her mother's got some that are still laying and they're older than they normally lay, and she calls them their golden girls.
Yeah.
They're her golden girls. So
have you ever guys had a real broody chicken
thank you in your dreams
that just sits on eggs? If it has an egg, they just sit on it. And they don't move around much. They go to eat and they stay on the egg, or they'll sit on the other chicken's eggs. They're called broody chickens.
Is it really?
They have, and it's not, they don't all do it, but there'll be like one in the flock that starts to do that. Just kind of sits in the nesting boxes all day.
Exo, tell me why, I was going to ask something about why when one is sick, do the other ones want to sit on it? That happened when the one was sick, and then it happened when this other one was sick, that they'll come in and sit on top of it. Is it to protect it since it's weak? I mean, maybe you sound like you might know more than we did. I didn't know if it was to keep it warm or to protect it, or I had no idea. But I was just curious. They want to sit on it.
I mean, when I went out there to, because it's just getting dark here on the East Coast, so I went out there just to I shut the back door, and then I kind of look at them. I went in. I opened up the nesting boxes, and he was sitting on 2 of the leghorns. They were, but they sleep like that.
At first, we kind of blocked him off in a little nesting box so that, when he was the sick one, and finally they were all gathered outside where he was blocked off. So I took the block out of it, and they immediately went in and sat on him. So I didn't know if that was normal, or someone will probably know that.
Karen said I bought a book and it'll have.
I have a book. It says, what does it say? Chickens for Absolute Beginners.
Hold on, let me
he
get the books
even
real
looked
quick.
at it. He was like, that's pretty good.
I'm going to get it. Remember when my dad came over and he was waiting for us to come?
Yes, I have one now, and it's so hard to break. I'm just curious, to know why. And also then sometimes Aussie goes into the nesting box. Nobody's obviously laid any eggs, but he'll go into the nesting box like he's sitting on eggs and makes weird noises. They will do that if they try to help the hen or rooster kind of as a wall, especially if there's aggressive roosters so they don't attack it. Okay, that's what I was wondering. I kind of thought it was some sort of protection or whatever, but I wasn't positive. I'm interested. I never knew that chickens had interesting behavior. I mean, and some people would probably say they don't, but if you watch them when they interact and as they kind of go through their day, it's like this whole little civilization in itself. That's why I like aquariums, because you can kind of watch this entire civilization as it interacts or whatever.
Here we go. Look. That's the backyard beginners to chickens.
That's really good. I mean,
Yeah.
it breaks down everything that I know you could have held it, but I was gonna like show. It tells you like from step 1, like which different kinds, everything. And it's almost like those books for dummies. That's how easy it breaks it down. So, and someone did a chick diary, like documented what to expect on those first few days. So anyways, this is it. Hey, Eric. So you've seen it. I love Suburban.
There's a bi-monthly chicken magazine called Chickens.
Oh, how funny, Rhonda. Hey,
So
Val.
this is the May-June one right here. So for like $26 a year, you get one every month, every other month.
Some men have Playboy. Sean has chickens.
This is raise your small flock right. So this is backyard chickens. Look at the little chick sitting in the sun.
Broody hens don't lay, and I've had a broody one for about a month. She's one of my 2 left, so I'm hoping to get her out and soon to start laying. So my question to Sean was, so they lay an egg and then they go out to eat some worms or whatever. And then you take their egg. They just come back to it and look around and go, what?
And they take them. They'll lay another one.
He said they're not really, I guess they're
not really that protective.
He's a real chick magnet. Oh,
yeah.
I like that.
That's good. You should pin that.
You want me to pin that?
But certain broody hens, they'll kind of get feisty if you try to take the eggs, but the rest kind of don't. Now when I had ducks, if you take the duck's egg, they'll hide it somewhere else in the yard.
So EXO he says you got to watch the aggressive roosters, especially if there is a sick hen, because they'll actually go into a cannibal state and eat it. And someone said that is true. When you said he was trying to mate with that one that was sick.
No, he was smashing on the little black silky.
No, you saw that one, but then the other day when I saw it, it was the white leghorn.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, baby, I saw that.
They definitely don't have game, because I was like, Ozzy, you're not going to get a chick to let you do it if you just whack up and grab her by the neck and start.
You guys see what roosters do. They just want to be walking by and he'll just pounce on it.
I'm like,
know?
And Sean was like, I knew that the first time that you saw it, you would think it was, and I was like, no, I understand how the thing works. What I'm saying is there's a different way to go about it where the hen doesn't squawk and run off.
I know. And, they don't
have game.
And they don't wait until they're grown up. I mean,
Yeah.
the little silkies are only about this big. And there's this little black one that runs by, and he just tries to get with it. And it's like, beep, 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 I'm too small.
So, yeah, I know that's horrible, but they do. It's the most, it's hilarious.
It's
because
very primal.
Ozzy he'll just be kind of looking around at all of a sudden, and then he's like, that one.
He just goes. Now, I know that the brown ISAs, they're hens, and I know the leghorns are all hens. I think the 2 brown, you see what I'm saying? How they're so there's 2 little brown silkies that I think are little roosters.
Y'all
I'm
like
gonna have
that?
to figure out something with that.
And
then there's 3. I think what he's got is 9 hens and 2 other roosters in there with him. That's what I think he has.
I guess so. Well, here's the thing with the leghorns come out when the doors open. He knows about chickens.
Who's that?
That's Exa. Read what he said while I. So the only ones that venture out the door if Sean leaves it open are really the leghorns. The browns, the silkies, they're not interested in going out. Ozzy's definitely not interested in going out. So when Sawyer's kind of chasing one, trying to get it go back in the door, but he's chasing it, Ozzy's freaking out, but he won't leave the door.
He actually does.
So he runs around his outdoor thing. He won't go out the door.
He just makes a lot of noise, and he does. He's not. He's
so,
not
but
tough.
if it is a hen, hey Angela, if it is a hen and it is Ozzy, and it would be a black hen and then Ozzy, I wanted to get a separate, cheaper, like containment for them. But an EXO might know this. You can't really just have one hen and one rooster, right? Because what I read in one of these is that the rooster will wear the hen out.
You got to put
Hey Presley.
You got to put. Hey Presley.
I'm gonna pin that.
The Cubs are on ESPN tonight. I was watching them for a while. They're playing the Cardinals.
Every time they're on, he's like, there's Presley's Cubs.
Yeah, I do.
He does. he remembers things like that, mainly sports, but you remember everything about
Like
sports?
any basketball fans, the Celtics and Warriors, they're in the NBA Finals. They're on game 2. They're playing that one right now. The Celtics are up 1-0.
When Sean's really having a good evening, he can play his baseball. It's not Madden, it's the show.
The show.
And also,
it's the only video game I play.
Also
is the
have
show.
a game on at the same time.
Yeah.
Right? Usually, and that's why some of you fools need to lose your
put
mind. When y'all lose your mind and do a live stream and just flip the F out, he loves that.
Yeah, I just listen to it. But on
No,
my
but then
phone,
he
like
can
I'll
do
have
it-
a game on. I have MLB extra innings, so I'll be watching a game on my phone and playing my video game. And
Yeah, Angela, if you're willing to, tell the chat about what happened, because that was messed up. Okay.
and then she'll have something on her phone, like one of y'all freaking out or something like that.
What are y'all freaking?
Or somebody's having a
Well,
live
and
stream.
speaking of Leticia, man, she tried to go full Beast 2.0. And those of you who saw it, she had her hand over the
I'm telling you guys.
the pepperoni areola, and she was trying to talk some mess.
Pepperoni.
I 100% believe she's being coached,
being
by
coached by
Classic.
somebody.
Oh, I think it's Classic. So she said one chick by whatever. I absolutely think that's who's coaching her.
You really?
But she went for the cojones way too fast, and she ended up getting her channel struck because she got turned in.
who's ever coaching her sucks because
She did get struck.
Yeah, just going for the you going too fast. She was growing just by doing what she was doing.
She didn't have to.
She didn't have to do
and
all
I
that.
do. I don't. When she starts talking about that mess about her unborn baby, I'm like, shut up, because someone had a point. Adonis Paul had a point. He said she's not planning on doing anything like that. She gets more money because people want to help her keep her from doing that. And I'm.
But you know what? Whiplash says I bowed out. And the thing is that that's what the DC does,
struck.
though. I mean, the people in the drama community, they
go find you. They bring you in. They start giving you money and making you our own.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get kind of intoxicated by it immediately, right? You figure out the game.
It's like one of those things where all of us kind of came from the DC, right?
Megan's
in
here.
our own way. Most of us that are still doing like
Yes,
channels and
Rhonda.
stuff, and a lot of you, the DC, and everyone wants to like the drama community is like a cuss word, like because of all the smutty stuff and all the things that have happened in the drama community. People kind of disowned it. They're like, well, there's no drama community. Oh, we tried to make it into a better community. Remember that phase where it's like
Nobody wants a better community.
No.
Nobody's looking for that.
And when people like Leticia come along,
Buy it.
everybody in the drama community are kind of like, hey, there's another one. There's another one. And before you know it, that person gets monetized.
And I love it, like when Rich Life and even Leticia was like, I want nothing to do with the drama community. You don't have that option.
Yeah.
Once we find you,
No matter what,
and bring you into the fold,
no matter what people say, no matter what they say on the outside, they're watching and and everyone's talking about it, and they're all so disgusted. And now people are doing reviews on it. Isn't Owls called like the Daily Menses or something?
The Weekly
like that?
Menses.
The Weekly Menses, where she does a
And then I
whole
found
thing on
out
it.
today, I was listening to, was subscribed to Adonis, but I never really watched it. But I was working on the chicken coop, so I had my earphones in. And I found out what a cow is when someone finds a golden train wreck, like Leticia or Rich Life or
any of them,
or the Beast or whoever originally finds them. It's their cow. And you're supposed to like give credit to whoever originally found that train wreck.
Hey, tell them about the hillbilly community that you found.
Oh,
that
he
you
was
found out
also
about.
there's the Hick community.
It's called the Hick community.
And there is a whole community of people from the country that beef with each other. And there's a community for everything.
They're like a bunch of hillbillies just dragging each other like country style or whatever with country slang and all that.
It says, you have checked into the Hotel CA? Or you might have
Hotel
been.
California?
Yeah, that's just it.
Yes, you can.
And we've got the people that will feed you money to keep you sick.
You can check in anytime you like,
Yeah,
but you can never
check
leave.
out.
You can
And
never
she
leave.
went 0 to 100 way too quick.
Liberator 2.0. That's another one.
when she said something to the extent of she did say something to the extent of it's just a nipple. I was like, oh, she's being coached.
Yeah, has to be.
She's being coached. The prepper community. I've heard about that prepper community. Deliverance people. Oh, yeah.
That's what they call them.
And they'll say, come to my house. One said, I'll beat the bark off your tree. That's what one of the rednecks said.
My favorite term is I will beat the brakes off you.
There's things that we've learned that the C word, I had never used that in my entire life until the drama community used it.
All right, Val, take care.
And now, yes, Presley's she's a little bit of a workaholic.
Yes.
But I'm glad that you're enjoying it. I saw those graduation pictures. They were beautiful. Anyway,
she said I need to go to the HIT community. I thought she was leaving.
It's the HIT community. And I don't know, they gave credit to Benny, whoever that is, that Benny had found. Yes, soft white underbelly, that he had found that one. So I was like, it's really interesting. Everybody's talking about soft white underbelly. He's another one that grew really, really fast. Hey, Missy, how are you? That was another one. You know, he's got like 3 million subs.
Yeah.
And he only had several 100,000 when we first started watching him.
But it's a documentary, and people like him. They know him. He's like known. Like when he goes and does the
why are you scratching, Sawyer Brown? You got
like the fentanyl addicts and the meth addicts. They kind of know he's coming, and they kind of try to shape up for him.
Well, yeah. It's fascinating. It's family reunion month. Right, Sean?
Yes, it is. We have a family reunion.
Coordinating people to feed and watch all of these animals is quite a feat, but I do think that we're going to board the 3 cats. At first, I was going to get someone to come and feed them and change their litter, and I know that's ideal because then they don't have to go anywhere, but first of all, in my experience, every time we find someone to come in and feed and do the litter box, the cats still get pissed off and start breaking stuff, right? At some point, they start. That's what always happens. And the other thing is, at least if I board them, I'm going to know their litter box is being changed. They'll be together. It's going to be costly, but I think now the chickens.
We got to figure that.
We got to feed the chicken. We got to figure the chickens out.
And the only thing I'm really worried about with them is water.
No, Presley, I said hey.
I can, you're not invisible, Presley. I was talking about your cubbies. They're on ESPN.
Maybe she was saying hi to someone and they didn't see her or something.
I will bring out
Nobody hides Presley.
What is a peepaw tang?
What is that? I don't know how is there water on this? Why is there water on this, Sawyer?
Look at him. He's like, I don't know, but I'm coming over.
He's like, I'm coming back over there.
Yep. I need to know, like, if you have to leave chickens for a week, 5 days or 6 days or however long we're going to be gone.
Yes, Megan.
What's the best way to keep the water cool? That's the only thing I'm really worried about with them. Look at you.
Megan is, she's got to go to work. She needs to make money because she went to Vegas to see Gaga in April. And then she went to Greece in May. Oh my gosh. See, people are getting around and having fun, and we're raising chickens and having fun.
That's why, Brad.
But that's awesome, Megan. I haven't seen you in a while. Hey, Steve, how are you? That was those of you who saw Shannon today, she did like a almost 4 hour stream where she streamed Tam Tam. Tam Tam was going off. Hear me?
Here's the deal, guys. When Shannon streams, Tam Tam cannot stand when
people get money.
When especially Shannon, gets super chatted. So we just give Shannon a little super chat. We gave her one today, and Tammy's over there like streaming the stream, going nuts every time.
Presley's throwing tomatoes and watermelons at us. She must be having fun tonight.
She must be tired.
Yeah, she probably is. She's so pretty. Yeah, so she completely lost her mind. And then she did her normal thing and I only saw it for a second, but she did her normal thing where she got mean, just really, really mean. And she claims she made the DC.
She claims she
She
made
was
her.
found by the DC. She was found by Shannon. So that would mean that she was Shannon's
She said she
pal.
created the DC. That's what she's saying.
No, everyone was shouted out or are found by someone. Slayton is the one that brought the beast on the map. I didn't know she's the one that brought that. So I guess now it's like, oh, well, I don't want to be called a cow or a train wreck, but I'm glad to know.
I found the beast before anybody. and
you found the beast when finding the beast was still a thing.
Do I get credit for that one?
Presley's having, now what is that last one she sent? Oh, teddy bears. Very cute. I didn't even know there was a teddy bear in that thing, and a microphone. She says she made all our channels. Well, she lives in La La Land, and I hope Scotty really is, he got into the Army and he can get the help. You know, she was mad at Scotty yesterday. Not about if he was,
there was some,
if he was,
she was talking about like homosexual.
That was today, but yesterday she was saying, apparently I didn't see it, she was mad at him and saying that if he's gonna leave his mama or whatever, and I'm like, of course he is. He's gonna make a future. That's what we want for our children. You know what I mean?
She was talking about today that if her son was gay, she would never want to see
speak to him again. It was crazy. While she's defending Mallory, that doesn't. I don't get that.
Sense,
but that's the way that it went down. And there's somebody for everybody. I don't know. Is someone on Presley's account or is she sleepy? Presley, are you tired or are you just having fun?
Who was going after Mallory? Oh yeah, that was Savage and them.
Everybody was going after.
Yeah,
her.
but
She made a
I just remember
tasteless joke about it.
That was a bad joke. We were lurking during Fuck It Up Friday or something. That we were listening to Savage's panel. Yeah, they were dragging
And then
people.
she was trying to. There's a different type. There's victim cards for every single type of person, and some people tend to go to that victim card. That's the first thing they do.
So, but Megan's must be working a third shift if she's going.
Bye,
to work
Angela.
now.
Have a good night. Let me know how things turn out.
Were you working third shift, Megan?
Oh no, oh yeah, Megan. Oh, that's why. Yeah, I tagged it so you can see it. But hold this real quick.
Okay.
Angela's gonna go take care of business. What you're gonna have to do, Angela, is you're gonna have to go. Find the mama and beat the mama. Sean,
don't be starting no shit.
Sean was like, because I was telling him what went on, and I was like, Sean, he goes, I was like, you'd have to go find the daddy and beat the daddy. Mm-hmm. No, it's not funny, but I understand why you went full mom mode.
Yep, you got to.
You have to. That was crazy. But
I'm yawning. Here's the bad news is I'm tired. The good news is I don't have to go to work till 10 in the morning. So
you're tired because you took a nap.
When I work today too.
Yeah, usually when you don't, I lay down and fell asleep.
I felt much better that we took a nap. We got to take a nap together today.
Hey, Candy Rain, I haven't seen you in a while. Someone asked how we feel about the Johnny Depp trial. Sean has more insight on that than I do.
I was on so many levels, I didn't watch much of it at all. I kind of caught all the memes and all the little sound bites as they, flooded into social media. I mean, when you watched Amber Heard, wasn't it eerily similar to, I just thought on so many levels, I just felt so good because we finally got to see a malignant narcissist front and center. We got to see it in Celebrity America. And if someone like Johnny Depp can be convinced, a narcissist brings you down.
Convinced him he was
They destroy
useless.
You. They take everything.
Black Dragonfly.
Amber Heard had Johnny friggin' Depp convinced that he was too fat and ugly and old and nobody wanted him anymore for movies.
Jack Sparrow himself. She had broken him down to that point.
But when I knew from the beginning, when people, there was like Team Amber and Team Johnny, and I said, watch what happens when you put this narcissist on the stand, just everything, because they're celebrities, and they start honing in on her. Watch this, watch what she does and what she becomes. And the whole world got to see this narcissist in action. I have a right to be heard.
My voice
needs to, hello, have we heard that before? And it was like, oh my God.
Interestingly enough, 2 years before, Sean had told me, when we go into that courtroom, she'll play the victim, but the second our attorney says something she doesn't like, watch her turn into, and she did.
Yes, you watch it, and it
It
just
was
turns into those shark eyes, right, Missy? She said all she had to do was be happy. She was married to Johnny Depp. You know, it was like
That's just it. It's like
know.
you and look at Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. I think you're bumping the thing.
Hey,
look
Khaki.
Look at Meghan Markle, or Sawyer
That's him.
is. Someone
That's
is.
him. Sawyer's doing it.
Not only has she broken him down, but Meghan made him give up his place in line,
Yeah.
his Royal Highness
They weren't even allowed on the balcony.
And then they had the nerve to name their daughter Littlebet. I can't ever say it right, Lilbet or whatever, which was Queen Elizabeth's nickname by her father. And that's totally like, you know, I could see Meghan doing that, like, look, right? Look at what we're going, you know, and it's all it's amazing how a malignant narcissist, if given the opportunity,
right. The media
can break someone down.
Comment, you know, the media did kind of try to put it out there, but you're right. It was very clear. It was very, very clear. You just got some PayPal from somebody.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
It didn't, is it?
I just saw it on yours. You'll see it on yours.
Okay, I will thank
sure
whoever it is personally. Thank you. I'm pretty. Oh,
I
it was
I saw it up there.
I didn't see it drop down because I was talking. Thank you.
It's still your former name, so.
I can't. That exactly. Little bit after Elizabeth. That's the nickname her dad had for her. I've got ink on my hands. Tell me, that is, to me, I see that as, considering everything that they have turned their back on, corroded, tarnished, that they named their daughter that, just a great big slap in the face. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, well, how about this? You know what, we'll make we'll do this and show how chummy we can be without using an actual title. I don't like it.
Thank you, Khaki. Y'all look so cute with the heart. Yeah, that's our backdrop.
I think that
you would so win in court with 300 support witnesses. See, Khaki, Mandi was in court with my ex on a couple of occasions. She's seen her, and it's just, when that person is trying, you know, they're staring at you. They're trying. Did you notice Johnny Depp never looked at her?
And Sean
never
did the
looked
same.
at
He
Amber
never.
Heard. When I was in court a couple times, I never looked over there. Mandi was making these observations, but while this trial was going on, I was.
What is wrong with Presley?
Am I chopped? No, you're not, Presley. I don't know what's going on.
I don't understand what's going on.
I think that she must be overworked.
Maybe
but
so.
I was like, Mandi, watch this gal. Watch what's going on. Watch her face. Watch Johnny and watch how he is and how he's acting. It was just so. I was happy on so many levels. I was so vindicating because it was like.
Yeah, the way that Amber kept going, it like desperately trying to make a connection, and he would not meet her eyes.
How about the time when like they were leaving the courtroom after one of the days, and he gets up and she kind of stops and goes, like she's so scared of him, like funny. You know, it was like
that was so funny.
And he was just like, oh my God, you know.
And the same thing when this is his first. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is his first time to ever be legally married. The mother of his children, he was with her for a good while, but I don't think they were married. But in this instance, when they got together and she set her sights on, she wanted to marry him, she got Johnny Depp to marry her in record time. And it's all, I mean, a narcissist doesn't have their own original playbook, unfortunately. It's...
And when you listen, the parts that I listened to when they were talking about how they got together and why he was attracted to her, he was talking about how what was he interested in? And he was like, she just had a knowledge of something that he was really into. And she kind of knew about it.
Literature.
And acted like that she liked it, and that
blues music. She found out all
everything
of that.
About it.
Took his boots off when he came home from work.
That's what narcissists do, man. They watch for a while, and then they figure out.
Okay, let it go.
They figure out what you like, what you're a fan of, and they read up on it, and they try to know everything about it, and then they win you over with that. And then after a while, they can't keep it up, and then
Now Sean said he hasn't ever had anyone crap in his bed. That's
No, no, but I was accused of pissing on clothes before. Remember that?
Hey, Mama Ricky.
Remember when she said I pissed on the clothes? I was like, hey,
and I did.
Mama Ricky.
I did. There was a few things I asked him. Like most of it, I knew from the time the allegation was made about the abuse way back in the dream space. I knew that was bullshit. I never believed it. Not even my ex-husband believed it. Nobody believed it. But there was a few things that I was like, did you actually burn the air fryer? That was one of them. And he goes, yep, I did.
I didn't burn it. There was a hole. I put a hole in it.
And the other one was, I was like, were you mad enough to piss on her clothes at that? And he goes, no.
Why did I piss on her clothes?
Say pee.
Yeah. But like, why would I do that like inside my own condo? Like pee all over everything.
Well, and that's the thing too. Did we ever find out whose poop it was? Was it Bear's or Sif's? Because I'm still waiting to find out. Bear probably doesn't appreciate being accused. Sif doesn't know what the hell's going on. But did we ever find out whose poop it was?
Yeah, I wasn't part of that.
I'm like, justice for Bear. Was it his?
I don't know. But Bear poops in
But you said Bear will eat a mattress.
Oh yeah, he'll tear holes in mattresses.
If you don't protect
well, they're like mattress toppers. Those little mattress toppers you can put on top of a mattress that are like.
Oh, that's what he ripped at?
2 inches of foam. He would rip holes in those.
How would he even find it?
He would just bite right in the middle of it and tear chunks out of it.
Hey, Saint Ratty. Yeah, that's why I don't care what anyone has said about, oh, she's doing well and she's proud of me. You drug your kid on YouTube, you dumb bitch. You drug your daughter for filth.
Just spend a couple minutes on that. You remember, and once again, we'll just give it a couple minutes. When Becca came on there and people got enamored by that, I just told Mandi, just stay far, far away from that, because she'll be gone off of there as quickly as she shows up. Mm-hmm. She showed up, she did the live streams, went on panel, and was gone. Mm-hmm. And what were all these people that gonna do when she made up with her mom? That was the main thing, because one thing that will happen of everything, one thing that for sure will happen is they will make up and they will be streaming together. And that's going to be where the people that went into Becca's corner that didn't like Trisha, we're going to have egg all over their face. And that's why I told Mandi from the beginning, we're not going anywhere near that situation.
Thank you, Black Dragonfly. Thank you. No, I agree.
Yeah, it was like...
But the DC doesn't forget. So, I always say the fact that that's his ex notwithstanding, it's still good drama. And that's where the interesting dynamic comes in, because we'll talk about anybody's drama.
Yep.
But never, ever, ever, ever will you live down that you drug your daughter on YouTube. Told about where she lives, told about that she doesn't pay rent.
All the same stuff she did to me that she do to other. And the thing about it was it was one more thing, guys. I say this a lot. I know it gets irritating, but it was one more thing that I knew so much about, and I just had to bite my tongue about it. Is I know that young lady too. Mm-hmm. And I knew the whole time, I was like, unfortunately, it was kind of a cash grab for her. She was real good at it.
And
she
now,
came on
and of course, Trisha's going to make up with her.
Yep.
She doesn't have a place to live. So she had to make up with her, because she's going to slither back in, and that's where she is.
And I wanted to, it's like when you are in certain situations, Elizabeth. One thing about being the victim of a narcissist is you can't go and warn the next people, because it just makes you look bad.
It was a cash grab, yep.
You have to stay back, and you have to just let it unfold. And you have to bite your tongue, because you know what's happening. You know what's happening to the next people. And in this situation, I just knew exactly what was going to happen within the whole 10 days that it lasted. Mm-hmm. It was done. And I'm sorry I didn't like jump on and go live and warn people, but you just got to stay away from that.
You have to. You have to. I feel the one thing that I can understand is I've been very open that I'm on medication. I've been on it for a very long time. It's a mood stabilizer and a non-benzo anti. It's Paxil. I take my medicine. I don't get off of it. I don't think I'm better. I don't think whatever. I get sleep. When someone gets off everything but Adderall and they're truly bipolar, and they're not sleeping and they're not, their emotions are completely all over the map. They're laughing and crying at the same time. It's got to be exhausting, and it shows all over their face. So
They look old.
Like her, hate her, no matter what, the haggard, tired look is what keeps me working on my mental health, because she's not sleeping. It's quite evident that she's not sleeping. I don't even know if you've seen it, but there's
I haven't.
screenshots
I've seen a couple
all
of the
over
screenshots
Twitter.
on Twitter. And
It's
she looks
really
bad.
scary. It's
And
really
the
scary.
thing is that
Your dog's on packs.
When people would say something, well, she accused you of making her take her medication and doing this and making her do this. You damn right I did. You damn right I made her take her medication.
Yeah.
You know, and I get accused of keeping her this way and forcing her to do this and making her take, you know, pills or whatever. You damn right.
Yeah.
You damn right.
I noticed with this new channel, though, that she's trying to keep it where her new love interests don't find out. She isn't doing that abuse bullshit. She's kind of curtailed that, hidden the other channel, and isn't promoting the abuse bullshit because it's not working well with her.
Yep.
Thank you, Karen.
Which is something.
She is drinking Let It Go. You're right.
That is something that Letitia hasn't learned yet. Mm-hmm. You know, the
oh my
times that
God, Ricky.
I've seen, you know, Letitia talk about, I just want to be held. I just want to be in a relationship. And then in the same stream, and 15 minutes later, she's talking about every male that's ever crossed her path has raped her.
And that's
I mean, what do you think's going to happen?
That's what's interesting to me.
You're not going to get a date.
These narcissists, God forbid a woman be mistreated or assaulted by one man in her life. It's a lot of people's stories. I'm so glad it's not mine, but it is. But when you've got 4, 5, and 6 instances of where you said a man assaulted you or essayed assaulted you, that's a pretty good red flag that you jump to that as an insult or a way to try to keep someone in your pocket. And it's amazing to me that they can't see it for what it is when every relationship involves that. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about so much about the beast, although she's got several instances, but Leticia, every single relationship.
When you take a community that sees a train wreck like that and hones in on it, but then if you watch how this person streams and the things they say and the nastiness and the contradiction, that they're in the infancy of being a shock YouTuber.
Men are gonna run, yes.
But you remember this is 4 or 5 years ago that or 3 years ago where someone would act this way. Well, you guys have watched a few train wrecks. So when you see this one, even though it's like deja vu, it's still like a train wreck. It's still the same. And she hasn't learned that if she's going to be successful on long term, she can't be perpetuating those types of things because you're not going to last long.
In the beginning, before she started that craziness, I mean, she literally gained 2,000 subs in a matter of 10 days. This is Leticia did.
You guys tell me, the guys, y'all that have been around here for a while, have you ever seen because it was only about 2 months ago where she was discovered and she had about 250 subs.
Something like that.
Have you ever seen someone jump up as quickly as she has? I can't think of anything. And I'll beat up my chest a little bit because Mandi and
Lavender.
we were both from the DC, and when we did our channel, we put 2,500 subs, but it took us about 4 or 5 months to do it. And she's closing in on 2,000 subs, or she's over 2,000 subs.
Yeah,
she did it in like 7 weeks.
She's closing in on 3,000.
Yeah,
Someone look, she's closing in.
Yeah,
and
in weeks.
Yeah.
But Mandi and I did it pretty quickly, but it took us
fast, right,
months.
Rhonda? It did, and you have to. She was on the right track. She started going live. She started going an hour a day. She'll probably in a couple of months when it cycles.
Hey, Lavender.
She'll get a fairly good check, but she took it. she went from 0 to 800.
She could have just done the same shocking vernacular for a couple more months.
Talking about the dookie finger and everything else. We were cool with that. That was the shock value of that.
It was pretty easy that she could have shot up to about 5,000 subs pretty quick. She didn't
I love
have
it when the gym people, the owners, tell her that she can't just, eat her dinner there and lay on their floor and use their shower and bug people. And they said something like, you have used your key card 20 times today to come in and out. And she told them, I am a disabled citizen. I will do what I want. And they turned her membership off.
Yeah, they just turned her
key her key card off.
Some people don't like the drama stuff.
I'm sorry, baby.
But I'm at was I at work when you sent me the picture, or I think it was Friday. I was at work and she sent me like a screenshot of
that gets pinned,
Leticia
Karen.
sitting there topless, when she was topless with her hands over. And I was like, already? She's already doing this? I mean, who's the idiot that's coaching her? Because I thought they were doing a fairly decent job, bringing her through the drama and the smut, but no, I mean.
And also the other little interesting tidbit about her is she
lovely Lisa Warrior.
Whether her mom was actually sending her messages the other day while this is Leticia, live or not, I'm not totally sure, because I thought the mother was typing it in the chat, but I couldn't see anything. But I think she was acting like messages were coming through.
Yeah.
And she was talking back to her at the same time, and she was trying to say, I know, mommy, but things were, whatever. I'm curious what y'all think. Was her mom actually messaging her, or was it a troll? But she said, or was she trying to save face so that, do you think she was coached that attacking her mom wasn't the way to go? She would get more.
Yeah.
People were in there going, please call your mom. She's there for you and whatever. And it was like, y'all are so stupid.
It's like, there it is.
And it was funny because It's Randy's Life came in. That vent is closed.
Is it?
That might be why it's hot. But anyways.
So Randy came in and says, you realize
we've seen all this before. And that's all she said. You brought an interesting twist to it, Leticia.
Yeah, you did.
But it's
I'm telling you though that the
I think so too, Karen. Hey, Lisa. Go ahead.
The pictures I've seen of her in like
her dress,
the full length
tights,
picture, she does look like
she's a cute girl.
I'm a cute girl.
That's what she said. I'm a cute girl.
She does look like she has a bit of a baby bump, though.
I do think she's pregnant at this point. I think
I didn't at first.
We all wish that she wasn't.
I didn't at first. At first I was like, okay, number one, she ain't putting puppies in the freezer. She didn't do that.
Yes, Lisa.
I don't think she ever she did that.
I don't think she did. He thinks she was trolling.
I think it's a bad. It's disgusting. It's deplorable. But I think and I didn't think she was pregnant. But
they've got a point. How does she lay on her stomach if she's 6 months pregnant?
Yeah, that's true.
But she kind of positions herself where I think her stomach is hanging over.
She does know how to angle the camera when she's doing like a full length.
It's all about the angles, y'all.
She kind of puts her hand underneath there. Mm-hmm. She's had a couple of those where it looks pretty legit, but I don't know. But I was one that didn't think she was pregnant at first.
Yeah. When she first kind of hit the scene, and I was like, Sean, you have to see this. And he saw how self-righteous she was. And I said, okay, she lives in her car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jason, I'm not going to, even though she says his name, I'm not going to, legit threw $50 and called it a day. And she says that he initiated relations while she was asleep. And then she did it, willingly because she wanted to have her own. And then she likes the way it feels because he didn't use protection.
She likes the way that feels.
So anyway, there's all of that. Oops, I'm kicking it. I'm sorry. There's all of that. And then, regardless, I guess, how you feel about family planning and stuff, I've never heard someone say, well, yeah, you can go ahead if you buy a plan B. This must be just like, I don't know if this is just unique or whatever, but, and who pays for it? Like, that goes to show you how long I've been out of the family planning game. But the same thing about her being asleep. If you remember the video where she went to her ex-husband's house and was arrested because she broke the the contact order.
That was a beautiful
She said the
soundbite.
same
Anyway.
thing. He maritally raped her, while she was asleep. Girl, how fast asleep are you?
Yeah, I know.
You
People
sleep.
normally wake up. But
I mean, if you,
I thought just to have sound bites.
She's so funny.
Did she provide this? Who provided
Ricky,
the
I
sound
love you.
bites? Who provided the sound bites of her getting arrested for breaking the EPO?
Karen, do you think that she's pregnant or not? Tell me right here, because Karen's pretty intuitive. What was it?
The sound bites. You actually hear the sound of the police arresting her for violating the EPO. Who provided those? Her?
How
did we
she
get
live
those?
streamed it or recorded it, one or the other. She wasn't live streaming then. She recorded it.
When you know that's an authentic, cops are showing up at the house.
You think she's pregnant?
And you, because I've had one live stream the cops a couple times. You guys have seen it. That is always interesting.
She hasn't seen
when a cops show up.
She hasn't seen her daughter in 6.5 years. So all of a sudden, you were outbid on a card.
That's okay.
And then it ended.
It's sold. It's okay. I did that before we went
Ricky's.
live.
You'll have to go back and look at Ricky's things. They're hilarious. That she was found by someone in here. Tell me who she was. Adonis said who she was found by, like Stoner Nick or something like that. Found her.
But in the drama community, there's a lot of people that talked about her. I thought Paula was the first one to.
That's the first one I saw.
That's what I thought.
Hey, clairvoyant. Yeah, that's the first one. So people do think that she's pregnant. There is histrionic pregnancy where your body thinks that you're pregnant and it starts doing different things. But this is clearly, whatever. And then the other day, Sean, she was trying to show her baby. It was kicking and stuff, and she was trying to get the angle right. Apparently, the beast at Panera today was like trying to make her stomach jump and recap.
I mean,
what is her obsession with being pregnant? It's so weird.
Another thing of a narcissist, when your game is someone else is doing what you would do, and everybody that used to watch you and give you supply is now watching somebody else, that
it's so weird to me.
They'll lose their mind over that.
There's like an anger that there's no uterus there. Well, I don't have a uterus, so okay. Well,
we know that. You only say that like
you
every
talk
time.
about it all the time. You were bleeding
Hey,
out.
Mayor's
Sean
daughter
was showing his stuff all over Jacksonville. No, not Jacksonville. It had been North Topsail, I guess, at the time. But it's weird.
Just say North Carolina.
She's starting to now when she does these histrionic streams, make her I had the baby, whatever. And then today she was like, look, I'm making it, it's jumping. Look, I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you?
How far along is she supposedly? When did this happen?
She's due in September. Someone in Moon Bear's chat found her. Some person found the other Moon Bear speaks on and ate her period blood. I think I heard about that.
Oh, God.
Another September the 4th is her due date. I'm telling you, the people that watch her they catch every indiscrepancy.
Lavender said that's why Tam Tam's losing it over
Letitia.
Right. Is she like pro Letitia or anti Letitia?
It varies from day to day.
Really?
But everybody seems to have the basis of what everyone gets pissed off at is when anyone makes money.
That's I guess. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm the type that I don't care who it is, and this is the honest to God truth. If I see a bunch of super chats coming in for somebody, I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
When we give super chats to people when we're in
do.
there,
I mean,
I get excited for them, even if it's not someone I care for. Just watching them stack up, I think, oh my gosh, that's phenomenal.
It's good for them, and you can see.
But I don't have an issue with.
Yeah.
Karen's my girl. I'll pin that, Karen. Yeah, it's just very odd to me.
Missy Frenchman says she wants to mentor Letitia. That's what Tam Tam.
Oh, Jesus Christ in heaven.
Can you see that?
Oh my God.
What would that?
Well, your child's gonna have to get older because you're gonna have to live with them. So how old is your little girl? Because you're gonna have to move in with her because you've burned every bridge of anyone you've ever known.
Wow.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that collab? Tam Tam and Letitia. Only one might emerge alive.
What
out
if
of that.
What if it was an RV trucking it down the East Coast and it was Leticia, the Beast, Tam Tam?
Ooh, what about if Letitia hooked up with Rich Life? That would, because Rich Life would. I mean,
he would.
You got to admit, Rich Life made his mark. He was always around, but he had a couple of crazy bitches.
Yeah.
That
Tam Tam says she's faking it for money, but Angelo and our chickens. Well, and here's the thing. The video of when she didn't know that the camera was still on and she was telling William, kind of catching him up on the con. Poor thing, William didn't have a clue what was going on when they were on their beach trip. Listening to her talk, I kind of caught on that, number one, she is a scammer. She is a con. And the other thing is their interaction, her and William, is a little bit different than it appears to be. Like, he always seems to be oblivious, listening to his Bible verses and not paying attention to what she's doing. But that's the first time I saw that when she was like, it doesn't matter. I said we were checking out, but then, whatever, that he is able to process what she's talking about. Their con.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What Lavender said about them not going to Arkansas or Mississippi or whatever to find Tam Tam, they're talking about, right? Is that what they're talking about when they said Angelo and the ship were chickens for not doing it?
I don't know.
They said Lavender Sunday said Tam Tam said she's faking it for money, but Angelo and the ship are chickens for not going to AK to find her. No, but the point is that we used to stop in Mississippi on the way back and forth from Texas. Mandy and I would stop
in the beginning, we legit wanted to take her to lunch. Yeah. Before she went off the rails. She
flipped out when she found out we were in town.
She thought Sean was stalking her or something. Yeah. Sean didn't post anything. I did. And we wanted to take her. This is before it all hit the fan with everything. And so it was really weird because she doesn't really understand what she's taking in sometimes. And she goes off the deep end and she's wrong about what
they're talking about. That they were, and I didn't know that they were talking about going to find Letitia.
Oh.
Yeah.
The WIC office knows where she is. She's on WIC. They know where she is. She keeps talking like she is, and they will deliver her baby with her hands tied down. And that will be the last she has anything to do with it. Yep. With the history of what mothers have been, in the last decade doing to their children when they're born, they will absolutely have her deliver that baby.
Let it go is like, AK is Alaska, Arkansas is AR. Thank you, let it go. I was like, why are they going to Alaska?
Oh my gosh. But seriously, like if you research it, a lot of states now have the presumptive power to take your child straight after you deliver it, even if there's no drug charge, just because you present a danger to the baby. So she better be careful if she's trolling, because they will take it.
But I mean,
and they're going to bring it right here.
Letitia hook up with Elvis, but the more plausible, realistic is Letitia in Rich Life, because what was that gal's name that Rich Life had for what had in his thing?
Lisa Lin.
No, the real crazy one
Lavender?
No, what was the real crazy one that he left in South Carolina?
Anna,
yes.
Sean loves him some Anna.
Anna put Rich Life on the map.
Do you remember
Sorry,
that?
Rich Life, but between Anna...
Remember when she picked a fight in a parking lot and Rich Life was like, you can't do that, they're calling me.
He finally just left her there. I love that girl, but I can't do this anymore.
They should take her, baby. I absolutely agree. Just making that, whether she's trolling, trying to get money, no matter what she's trying to do, saying that when that child is born, number one, she's not going to seek medical attention, and number two, that she is going to end its life, is absolutely reason enough for them to take that child immediately.
Saint Ratty says, I'm from Australia. I have no idea. Well, just tune in. We're just look these people up, and you'll have tons of fun.
I guess you can also, if y'all don't have anything to do, hey, Pink Life, Rich Life's lawyer, judge friend might be able to.
Now, last, Rich Life, he keeps trying to come back. They keep taking his channel, but he was in the process of seriously getting sued, wasn't he?
Yeah. So I have a question. So Leticia was a professional cuddler.
Be
She was on like a site like Cuddle Care or something like that. If you ever, and I know you don't, but if you ever went on a site like that, would you be looking for someone to cuddle?
No.
Nobody's looking to cuddle. No. That's not what they're looking to do.
No. You don't go on Tinder looking for someone to have coffee with.
Most men would just assume that that's a really elaborate cover for the fact that you're an escort, but she legit just wanted to cuddle. And so when these men would try to get with her, she would be like, no, it's $80 an hour. And they're like, all right, listen, just, no, we're going to cuddle.
We're going to cuddle. He's like, yeah, we are.
They're like, your Uber's here. You better get going.
Cuddle comfort,
Rhonda is going to let Elvis park the RV
in her driveway.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Where is Elvis? Is he still on a social media platform somewhere? I don't know where he is. I got into him for a while. Sean was never
She gave Cuddle Comfort a bad review.
She did. She will blast anybody in the reviews. Like the guy the other day, Sean, you know, like the big, like Panera has a big jug of ice water that you can help yourself and whatever, and she couldn't get it to come out. So the employee came and kind of rubbed his finger around the spout to see what was wrong with it.
Then it was.
Oh my gosh, she called
she was pissed off about that.
She went into the park.
The finger
and
water.
You know what? That
like
is
that.
what we're looking for, Leticia. You dragging the hell out of that guy and talking about where his hands.
You don't have to get naked. You don't have to do that. You just be you.
You having a freaking meltdown and using your big words in the wrong ways. That's all we care about.
What is it that she
does
always
write
says
Google
when
reviews?
What does
this
she say?
And that.
But she says, and it was like that, or she says something.
She'll say in that way.
In that way.
And you know, I knew she talks about how strong her pheromones are. Yeah. And that nobody can resist her pheromones or her breasts. Okay, well, we've seen them. We know now that they're
because I'm a cute girl.
And she'll go, because I know I'm a pretty girl. I know that.
I'm a cute girl.
And she was talking about this guy playing pocket pool in his shorts, like at a grocery store. She was asking him where something was. And he put his hand in his pants or in his pocket. And she goes, I know he was hiding a chubby. That's how men are. And he goes, my pheromones immediately aroused him. And you know what? That's what we're talking about, Alicia. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, you don't need to.
In that way, this and that.
In that way, yeah.
She'll go, and remember when she was talking about, she was watching a baby and it kept getting in the broken glass? And that's still not, that's a little bit better than the narrative about but she was like, I finally said, you're out of control. If you crawl over here and face plant one more time.
Because, you know, you just clean up broken glass around a baby. But she's like, and he kept crawling right back over to it.
Yeah. Yeah, so, but when I am listening to her and she's talking about the, you know, all of these guys essaying her, especially JW, and talking about going about what she might do, Sean is like...
And JW, you're lucky that everyone is just referring to you as JW, because most of us dudes get put on blast. And
right.
They just, you know...
She'll dox the first and last name of any single person she's talking about. It doesn't matter who it is. She blasts... He was staring at her boobs. Yep, this and that. And she talks about her pheromones. In that way. But that's why in the beginning she climbed so fast. And now people are trying to turn her down and take her streams down because she went completely ape shit off the grid. And they can't.
She had a nip slip.
Will you bring me the tea, Sean? It's over there somewhere. But yeah, she leaves Google reviews forever. I'm trying to. Are you still there? I hope you're still there. Sean T says he doesn't know who we're talking about. He's been off for so long. This one is her name, and I don't mind not promoting her, but saying it because we're interested in other people's opinions. It's Love Letters for TLC.
Let's go check out Al's streams.
Yeah, the original Al, she also does reviews of it. And so TLC is her daughter that she hasn't seen. It's not the channel. It's a daughter she hasn't seen in 6.5 years because she didn't bother to even go to court to try to see her. She just, as she got her husband divorced her and as he fought for custody, she just never went to court. So she's had some measure of her, some degree, yeah, that one. Some amount of her parental rights are gone. They may all be gone. But she literally, and she says other people signed the documents. Yeah, they did because you didn't show up. And so she hasn't seen her in 6.5 years. I doubt she's going to see her. I don't think the ex-husband and the stepmother are raising this little girl. And so anyway, that's what Love Letters for TLC. She said she was making these vlogs for her daughter. So the vlog where you went to her father's house and were beating on the door and calling them names, that was for her to know the truth. That was a love letter. That was, if she was there, she had to be horrified. That's another word she loves. I was horrified.
So shifting gears for a second, Mandy and I went to Arby's for dinner in that way. And
we did.
And so we noticed that there wasn't a line because one of these streams we're gonna have to talk about how the country's changing. You know.
Last thing, and then I'll let you. The cops forced her to
They
perform
forced her
fellatio. Anyway, go ahead.
So we go to Mandy and I like to eat out every once in a while, but we're very discouraged because of the way fast food is, the way restaurants are. So we tried
They never have
Arby's.
anything.
Yeah, when they're short
Most of them don't
staffed.
have them.
So we went to Arby's and there was no line at the drive-through. So we said, this is probably too good to be true if there's not a long line.
I said they'll be out of roast beef.
They were out of ice.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about them having to call to get in.
Well, no, but see, so I have this strawberry lemonade with real cane sugar. But have you guys ever drank lemonade with no ice? Because that's part of lemonade is the water kind of dilutes it a little bit. This is very good, but it's super sweet.
But they did have the crinkle fries and roast beef, so that was okay. But we noticed
this woke me up right away.
We noticed that this, for a while, like everybody, their dining room was closed, but it was closed a little bit longer than most. But I thought it was still closed because of COVID. And we see this older couple going up to the door, and she's dialing a number, looking at a sign. I said, oh my gosh, she's legit calling to tell them that their door's locked or whatever, or being a Karen or whatever it is. And then we noticed as we made the corner that there were people sitting in there, and that older couple was sitting in there, and they were eating. And I looked at the sign on the door. You have to call for them to let you in because we've got a situation where everybody's going and shooting everybody up everywhere. So Arby's has taken the preemptive thing that they've locked their door, and in order to get in, you have to call them.
And then they'll
let you in. And I think that's going to be the world that we live in, unfortunately, going forward.
Well, Lavender says that when they're
I know,
on
Karen,
vacation,
I'm sorry. Hold on, let me grab that.
When they're on I think when you go to like a vacation spot, I think they're doing it a little bit better with restaurants and stuff because, I mean, they have to keep, I mean, that's their livelihood. But when you just are like in a suburb of Atlanta, like we're in, or up north of Atlanta, like in Dawsonville where we are, restaurants are all short-staffed. They don't have half the menu, and the lines at the drive-thrus are all extraordinarily long. So, or you have an hour wait before you can be seated in a restaurant because just nobody's working. So we'll DoorDash whatever, but that's where this story has come from because every time we go out, it doesn't matter. We go to Panda Express, we go to wherever, the quality is not good like it used to be. And that's okay. That seems to be okay to everybody. And that kind of sucks.
Had to put it up. It's too
So
hard.
I paid $9.99 to my DoorDash pass. And we DoorDash stuff mostly.
Yeah. You have to tip well because they won't drag it out to the backwoods of Georgia.
They won't bring it out to Dawsonville unless you normally they say you got to put a 5 on it. Well, to get it out here, you got to put a 10 on it.
Yeah.
And then they bring it.
We do live in the backwoods.
We do.
We are quite content here.
We live in the backwoods of Georgia up in the hills in a triple wide.
It is a triple wide. Don't knock it until you've tried it.
With our chickens.
It's, yeah, the chickens. We saw a kit at Home Depot, a starter kit so that you can put outdoor cameras up. So the starter kit's like $179, and that's like where you can get it going, and then it's $35 for each additional outdoor camera. The chicken cam is coming after we get back from the family reunion. Yes, I'm going. How about that? When we get back from the family reunion, we're gonna try to go to Texas in July. Well, no, we are going to Texas in July. But after all of that, and we've come back on, hey Moon Bear,
how's it going?
And we've bounced back. The chicken cam will be up, and y'all's job, if anybody tries to mess with our chickens, is to let us know.
Yes.
But Sean does say he's gonna check in on the chickens on his cam.
I will. I'll be at work, like looking at this snake in the chicken coop. And
that's the only thing that can get in.
There's a snake in the chicken coop, and it's not Mrs. ATX.
That's Storm with her. My poor Storm. She has this little multicolored foam ball. She never meows, but for some reason, and I think she wants someone to play with her, one of the cats, she'll sit there and do this meow with her little colorful ball. And I'm gonna go see if that's what she's sitting by. And she doesn't even know how to meow, but she does it. I'm like, go play with Storm.
Y'all, we got a house full of animals here.
We We have 3 cats and
We
a
do
dog.
3 cats and a dog and
Yeah,
dozen chickens.
What are you doing? That's what she and she tries to make it. She tries to throw it herself, Sean. It's
So
really sad.
Sean T says they have one red light in his little Mississippi town. Yeah, that's now. So do the restaurants kind of suck there with everything that's been going on? I mean, Dawsonville, Georgia is it's tough, man. I mean, it's tough to find a good place to eat out.
Well, Panda Express never has any sort of their food. They're always out of everything. It sounds like we eat out every night. We really don't. Most of the time, we're too tired. I eat a soft pretzel, and Sean eats a bag of wings.
Moon Bear's last night in the hospital.
I was watching.
They're going to keep Moon Cub in the nursery so she can sleep tonight.
Good.
But I'm so nervous about it, although I know I shouldn't.
Yeah.
Well, you got to sleep, though. You got to sleep.
I know the other day when I was watching it, and your husband is as cute as a bug. When I was watching it the other day, and they were about to start the Pitocin drip, and my daughter was induced a couple of weeks early, and I remember how hard that labor was. So I completely, they say when it's induced, it's so much harder. I didn't have an epidural with my son, but I did my daughter. I wouldn't let them induce on my son. Hey, Nelson. And the birth was so much.
Hey, Nelson. What's up, bro?
We have little
been a long time.
Pop restaurant. We have to travel 30 miles. And right now, nobody's working anywhere. McDonald's is paying
30 miles to get food at so-called good places. It's
McDonald's is paying 14 an hour and nobody will work.
It's really subtle how it happened. And you know, because we'll go do whatever when we're both working late. We both get home at like 6:30. It's like, let's go grab something somewhere. And it dawned on us probably about 8 months ago, 6 to 8 months ago, is like, it's not easy to find a place that's staffed and the line isn't, got 12 cars in it. It's just, the times are weird now, guys.
All the ladies are talking about how inducing is fast and furious. And I chose the inducing with my daughter, and because he was going on vacation. It was in England, so you have private, you can do the NHS, or you can do a private doctor. And I did a private doctor, and my daughter was born at 6.5 pounds, because she was delivered 2 weeks early, and he was nervous about her. He was like, oh, like he misjudged that just a little bit. But I was like, I will never do the Pitocin drip. I mean, unless somebody I was like, I'll never be induced again. People had warned me.
Y'all, that's still in our plans too, by the way.
Oh yeah. Not to be induced though. I think you have to have a cesarean over 40, don't you?
I don't know. I don't have.
See?
I don't think.
Kelly doesn't think the girl's pregnant. I was induced for all my cubs. First was 24, and the second, oh my gosh, my first, and ended up have to have an emergency. See, there's so many different.
Our first back. This is 94. Jessica and I's first. The baby was coming and she wouldn't dilate. So they had to do an emergency cesarean. So I was actually with my daughter for about 3 or 4 hours before she was awake. So I was the first one to really hold my daughter. But
it was in Germany.
It was in Germany. And then I have 3 biological kids, and then all with Jessica. And the second one was born at Fort Stewart, Georgia, and each one was quicker. The first one it started in the day and it went into the next day, and then they did the emergency cesarean. And then my second daughter, Rachel, was about a several hour labor. And then with Darcy, water broke at 3. Darcy was here by 8.
Did she have a cesarean with all of them?
Nope, just the first one.
Oh, she was able to.
Just the first one, yeah.
That's interesting.
So
it is everybody's either talking about Pitocin or wasn't dilating. It was horrible. That's my name, Sean, the R1.
Rachel.
Oh,
That's my second daughter, is
I was
Rachel.
a little like, what? I'm confused. The only thing I would dilate and everything, my water wouldn't break. And they have a method for that. They have a method for everything. I was telling Sean yesterday, I was so young with my first one, hadn't done any classes, nothing like that. So when my ex-husband and I went to the hospital, what was it I telling you that I had no idea? Oh, I didn't know there was like a placenta.
She didn't even know what a placenta was.
I had no idea you
She's
deliver
like
a
over
placenta.
there, what is that?
I was doing a urine sample and there was this placenta on this table because this is England and they were having me use the bathroom right there because the rest were full. And I was like, what is that? And they were like, that's a placenta. We're making sure it's intact. And I was like, well, how does that happen? And they're like, well, it's afterward. You know, when you do, it's like,
you see, when a
you
boy
do
and
what?
a girl like
Something
each
else
other.
comes back out. But she said, by then you're holding your baby, you're not paying attention, and it comes out and we take care of it. And I was like, but that big thing is gonna.
It's gonna come out.
And I'd never done Lamaze classes, nothing.
This story is kind of gross. So we were in our apartment in Germany, and I guess when her water breaks, I guess y'all, I mean, the first time is you get it after the first time, but you don't understand. When water breaks, it's like, well, I wonder if my water's gonna. Well, I know, you know.
Yeah, that's
because it's like, and so water breaks. It's about 3 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the morning, and we were getting ready to go, and we were packing up to go to the hospital, and the cat comes running down the hall and just slips where the water broke.
Oh my God!
Slides into the wall, and it's like, oh my God, what's that?
It was the next day,
and it was but. No, it was when it happened.
Oh, okay, I was like, y'all just left it there for.
It broke right in the hallway. I mean, so while
but I thought for some reason you said the next day. That's what
it did go into the next day, but that was the night, and so we had this cat, and it was freaking out because you're trying to get everything ready in the middle of the night. The cat's like, "What's going on?" It ran down the hall and slipped and just slid on its side, and it was like, yeah, that was a lot.
You got to get a new phone. I was trying to type into that. Oh, wow, Moon Bear. I didn't know that was number 3. And it was typing gibberish because his phone's jacked up.
I can barely get this to go on live chat.
I did not know that was number 3.
This whole side is like dead. So anything, like I can't search in YouTube because I can't do that. So I have to go to Google search and type in like Miss Moon Bear YouTube. And I put it into Google, and it takes me in Google, and that's how I go into people's chats. I can't just search unless I get a notification.
He's so traumatized. Switching phones is hard enough for Sean because he's afraid to lose the pictures from the beginning of our relationship and just everything, all his apps, his sports apps. And every time I assure him it's totally okay, it'll work, it'll come back. And every time there's a glitch. The thing that Verizon doesn't tell you is that no matter what, you do have to call someone or let them do it to actually put the number into the switch. There's no way to do it without someone doing it. You can load your iPhone, you can do all of that, but until they actually, send the signal, it won't have your phone number, and it's just, you can only do like Wi-Fi. We finally got this.
I can't type O's. I can't type like on this side, like the O is right there in between, like it'll do the P in between the O, and then below it, I can't type M's. He's
come a long way. Do you know how frustrated he would have been like when we first got together because his phone wasn't working?
Saint Ratty says, what's your thoughts on Nader? I don't watch that. I haven't watched any of that. But however,
you heard about the threesome they had with that other girl, right?
That seems nasty. But it came up as a suggested friend request on Facebook. So
did he really?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. On Facebook. And so there's enough of my Facebook friends, because there's only several of you that are on my Facebook. You guys know who you are, but you motherfuckers are watching that and are friends with him, I guess, because it's coming up as a suggested friend request. I know very little. You were playing a little bit of it today or yesterday, and I didn't even know who it was, the accent and all that. I didn't know who it was.
He's Egyptian, but he lives in Canada.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know much about it. I'm sorry, babe. I've been in Foodie Beauty's chat a few times. I've watched her a few times. To be totally honest, I don't find it very interesting.
Seems nasty. Moon Bear is a certifiable nasty. Yeah, I was just answering the question.
But apparently they rented a hotel room, this natter that she's on and off. Scout's fighting with Storm, that she's on and off again. And they went to a seedy motel, and he had her and Dee Dee, which is his other girlfriend, mess around. And I guess it's happened before. And then Chantel goes and throws up after whatever happens. She goes and throws up, and then it's a whole thing. And then she goes home, and they fight back and forth. It's got to be a little bit fake.
It's got to be toxic.
Because how come?
Hey, guess what? You're not supposed to throw up after you do that.
But every time she goes live with the clickbait title, he goes live.
Yeah.
And they kind of, I think a lot of it she's trolling. I do think she's definitely got some issues to just shave her head and keep shaving it but I think most of it, you think she's trolling for the most part.
I think she's a really good troll. And I knew way back before, did like her and Yaba come to like an easy truce or something like that, I guess?
I don't know.
But I mean, Chantel, if Mandi goes into the chat, Chantel will
let it go.
Will shout her out. She'll say, hey, she have 1,200 people in her live, and if Mandi comments,
that makes me feel good.
Well,
I stood up for her, not that it matters.
She was standing up for her when no one was. This is 3 years ago.
I think, yeah.
And
it was
but I don't get real involved in it.
I just don't think it's when she's talking, whatever she's talking about, when she's just day-to-day streaming, I don't know what the hell she's talking about, and it's just not very interesting to me. But the Chantel watchers, man, they know every single bit. They ping pong off each other, knows the game. Yeah, exactly. And Nader went from starting his channel to 7,000. He's got 7,000 subs now. Yeah. Apparently she pays his rent.
Well, but I mean, like, if you have a YouTuber like that, I mean, so I was with her. So my channel, I put 1,500 in my channel, and then when we broke up, I put another 1,200 in the Tomahawk Sean channel real quick.
Yeah.
2,700 in that one when I stopped using it. Then she and I got together, and we put 2,500 together in about 5 months. So you can do it. I mean, it can be done.
Misty Lee, if you have an iPhone, she's afraid that she'll lose voicemails from a relative that has passed. If you have an iPhone, when you sign into your iCloud or whatever your email is, those do repopulate. I have a voicemail from Sean from July of 2019. Is that what, or 2019? That's right after we started dating, right? I would play it if it wasn't on. It saved, and there's a couple of voicemails.
It was 2 months after we started dating. Thank you. We crossed over in May. And
I know, but what I can't ever remember 2019 or 2020.
2019.
That's the only difference. And it's a voicemail where he was basically saying everything's okay, is going to be okay. This isn't my first rodeo, because everything was going on at once. Divorces were going on, moves were going on. I was staying with my parents before we moved into the apartment together. It was just a really awesome. Someday I'll play it. But when I sign in, every time I get a new iPhone, when I sign in, it comes back up. The other thing is you have to wait 24 hours for all those apps to finish coming back on and everything to save. But make sure the user ID that you use for your Apple account, make sure you know that password. And if you can add a trusted.
They're all gone. They're gone.
They're gone. He did. And I said, nothing's ever gone. He was like,
that was in 2020.
It was the pictures some of the pictures that we had from when we first.
Yeah, they've been
very
a lot
nostalgic. To me. And so I said, nothing's ever gone in this day and age. So we called Apple, and they said, well, it'll take 28 days for us.
Well, it's gone. I was like, it's gone.
It'll take 28 days, but in 28 days, it'll come back. And sure enough, it did. Remember? They do that because I guess if you stole it, you don't want to wait 28 days for.
But I mean, like someone like Nader, who
yes, I understand,
is linked to someone like what does Chantel have in subs now?
Almost 100,000.
Right.
She's about 10,000
so
away from 100,000.
So if you're a significant other, 7,000 is what, 10%?
In 3 months.
But because they follow her.
Sean is offended. I mean, make sure you know
Why
those
don't
passwords.
you know that?
And add a people watch for the meltdowns. That makes sense. make sure you have another trusted source, which is like your iPad or your husband's phone. I'm sorry, I don't know your situation, but someone else that has an iPhone or an iPad, add that one as a trusted source. So if you do have to get stuff sent to you so you can get back in, not like the voicemails, but like passwords and stuff, you have to add that. You have to have another trusted source.
Is Soy Brown?
That's
Soy
what I
Brown right
thought. I did when she was talking about Natter. I went and found him because I would happen to be watching her that night, and she was talking about him. And then I went over and found his channel, and he didn't even really know how to work it.
Normally he comes up as a suggested friend on Facebook. Right, right.
My ex-husband.
Right, with your ex-husband, yeah.
That's how she's like, maybe I should just add him. Maybe we should just.
I'd be like, hey, bro, you know, I mean, friends.
And
I mean, I got everything from you that I want, so I mean, we can be friends.
And we always joke. Sean will go, look, dude, my picker was broken. I wouldn't pick in the right kind of forever women. I'm just gonna take yours. That's our dark sense of humor. We don't like to joke about deceased children, but that's a pretty dark sense of humor. That was Mallory did that.
Yeah, this dark humor.
I've never liked her. I don't care if she.
Hey, what about that?
What she identifies
remember the jewelry that she would, and this is my only criticism, because I mean, that's not my only criticism. The only thing that I'm going to comment on is like before I really just knew who she was. I didn't know anything about, but I would look at Mallory, and then she was trying to sell this jewelry that she was making.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, that was some ugly ass.
It was just like pieces of metal kind of twisted together.
It was called twisted whatever. And again, it was like, okay, it was ugly, but it's whatever. When she jumps to what she identified, I don't care what you identify as.
Somebody was like buying all kinds.
I think you're a bitch.
Who was buying a bunch of that stuff though?
Mama Beth. Mama Beth, yeah, where are you?
Yeah, she
I hope Mama Beth. I mean, gosh, nobody likes her, but geez, I hope she's still on this side with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've never. She's always not Mama Beth, her too, but Mallory's always irked me. I don't like erratic. Anyone that plays the victim. I don't like.
But she's very erratic. Like she can't decide, you know, which way she wants to flop.
And if she needs to understand, if you want to crack a joke about, you know, a deceased child being propped up in a milk cooler or whatever, then you better be willing to accept that you're going to lose some people that had accepted you. You better be ready to lose some subs and some friends, because not everyone likes that humor. And she tried to say it was just one bad joke. Why throw me away? Because it's very reflective over the person that you are.
And also because there's a lot of people that are watching you and want a reason to not. They're like, there's something about you that's not likable. And now you said that, so now
and
that happens.
You cracking that bad joke, right? One bad joke too many. You cracking that bad, tasteless joke is on top of the fact that you're the perpetual victim. You are the eternal martyr, perpetual victim that you always. What does that have to do with what you identify have to do with your sense of humor? Right. One doesn't equal the other.
Like
but
there's
fall back
people,
on that one.
There's certain YouTubers that are always on the brink and saying messed up stuff or whatever, but they're basically likable.
Even Leticia is likable.
Like
I'm sorry,
I say that, and it is like the thing about Leticia is that was different than what's her face. Is that what's her face will listen to you and go, oh yeah, and read comments. Leticia just looks at all the comments with contempt and doesn't like interact, and that's off-putting. But you know, she says so much disgusting, gross stuff, but you find yourself watching her. Or there's other people that they're basically likable, like they stream well, or they look good on camera, or they're just got a good personality and they say stuff, but you want to like them. Mallory's kind of the opposite.
Yeah.
You look at it and she's just not a very likable person. She's very erratic. She goes after everybody so that she doesn't have a lot of wiggle room when she says something bad.
Something
she
tasteless
just doesn't.
like that.
It just you don't have that money in the bank with people.
Well, and then after, you know, Savage called her out for the tasteless jokes, she decided to go for them again. Well, you ended up on F It Up Friday because of that, and you got drug again. That's the way that it works. I know you say you don't care, but nobody likes to be drugged. I mean, I won't see it.
Nobody likes to get the Tool of the Year
What
award.
What am I famous for, Sean? Starting some shit and then not watching the streams having to fall out.
Yeah, I'm always,
They'll be like, oh, what's
like Mandy will get into something, and
Like-
she'll just say something, and then she'll just go to work, and then people will be dragging her and talking about her, and she doesn't even know.
Well,
what's
that's
happening.
what happened with old girl, in real life phone calling girl the other day. She got on her channel and went live spitting mad about me for like a whole day, then took her channel down. I didn't see any of it.
She didn't see it.
I don't watch it because
I'm like, hey,
that's the
I
funniest.
I'm like, hey, babe, I
Right,
don't watch
Karen,
much
did
of
I
this,
watch
but
it?
this
No.
is coming across Twitter and this and that. Are you? And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, well, that's good.
Let's
go get some dinner then.
That's the
Let's
best
not-
way to stick it to someone is to confront and start and call them out, and then when they and she was so erratic, there was no point that whatever she was gonna say, but people were like, I mean, I was getting DMs, yo, ATX, she's really pissed off at you.
I know, she's mad. We need to go, babe.
I know we do. Well, you have to go to sleep. I have to go to sleep.
We have to go to sleep.
We have to open that vent. But I had fun with you guys.
I am going to open that.
Did
vent.
you have fun? And we're shoot the shit. Where
Yeah,
the hell
what
did they
happened to
go?
them?
Are they on Patreon?
That's what we want to leave y'all with too. Is somebody go find them and tell us where they went.
Don't find them in real life. Just find them on social media.
Don't get us like.
That was
in
another
trouble.
one we beefed with, but they're fairly likable.
She is. He isn't.
Well, no, he's a weirdo, but anyway, thanks for hanging out with us. Glad you're still into our backdrop because it hangs out in our living room all day, every day. Though when his parents come over and they look at it and they're like, and I plug it in the first time they saw it and they go, oh, well, I like that. And I was like, that's where we stream. And they're like, I don't like that.
So you guys, like, when you see cameras and freaking, so we have this room here, our living room's like right over there. We're in it. We're just in a corner of it. And there's like pillows and couches. And then you've got this like backdrop and this light and these things to hold the phones. And people were probably like, what in the hell are they filming in here?
We had a bunch of tripods and stuff set up where you're experimenting with it in the apartment. And it was in that third bedroom, that gray bedroom. That's what I call it. Y'all remember it. We did that live stream with Sally, the first one in there, and like a couple of our first things. And there were like tripods set up. And it was really because we were trying to figure out how they worked in a ring light. My son, that was where my son slept when he came to visit, and he walked in and he looked at it and he was like, gross. And I was like,
I don't even want to know what you're filming in here.
I said, no, and he goes, whatever. Just anyway, y'all have a good night. We have to go make sure that, well, you already made sure all that the little white silky he tries to jump up on the ramp and he slides down.
We have one little silky that can slide down in the beginning of the day.
I cut his hair.
But he can't go up into the hen house. He tries, he's flapping his little wings and he gets halfway up the ramp and he slides back down.
But he loves Sean to help him. He goes,
so
beep, beep,
then
beep,
I
beep.
walk out there and all the other hens are in the hen house and he's sitting there and he sees me walking up and he beep, 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 beep. He comes to the thing and he lets me pick him up and put him in the hen house with the rest.
I bet people had no idea that you had this side of you.
I am a chicken farmer. That's what I am.
So is Sawyer.
I'm a chicken farmer.
You're a happy chicken farmer.
Good night from the chicken farmer.
Bye, y'all. Y'all have a good night. Bye.
Bye.